So for the past year, I've been using K2 Uptowns, but they made it to the end of their lifespan, and lately they just haven't been performing the way I like, and I'm getting a lot of hot spots with them, which wasn't the case before. So I'm retiring that setup, and I'm finally going to try a new setup that I've been wanting to do for quite a while. So these are K2 Unnaturals with Kaiser Arrow frames and Flying Eagle FE slider wheels. So I've tried all these parts independently, but never as a complete setup. So you guys obviously saw my K2 Unnatural first impressions video. I had these, if you follow my Instagram for a while, the Kaiser Arrows, and same case with the Flying Eagle wheels, which I haven't really used. Altogether, they make for an interesting setup. It's kind of a power blading setup. Obviously, the K2 Unnatural is an aggressive skate, which has a sole plate, which will allow me to grind. The Kaiser Arrow frames are interesting because they're an 80mm setup, but they have plastic sidewalls, which protect the frame and allow me to grind. And the Flying Eagle wheels are slide wheels, which I got a while ago. I didn't really use because I was busy doing other things, but the fact that they slide should help if I ever try to do H-block grinds or just grinds in general, which will involve my wheels contacting, coping. So maybe because they're slide wheels, they won't bite as much. I don't know, we'll see how it plays out. So one of the main reasons I haven't been able to use this setup is actually the Flying Eagle slide wheels, the FE sliders, have a fat profile, a wider profile, and have been conflicting with the frame. So every time I put this frame together with these wheels, the frames on the top have a cutout so the wheel can be inset into them, and the cutouts, I guess, designed for a wheel with a narrow profile with a sharper tip, because these are wider wheels. As you can see, the front wheel and the back wheel will spin, but the center wheels don't really spin because they're making contact with the frame. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to try these out as a freestyle skate and get some slides in, see how they feel, and hopefully in the process I can wear down the wheels a little more so they can actually slide, because right now they're not doing anything. So I got them to start rolling now. They roll a little better. I can still feel some friction on them, but it's definitely doable, so time to start trying some slides out. So now I'm going to try the double backward slide with both inside edges. I'm going to try to do some outside edge stuff. You know, I did a lot of inside edge stuff already. I'm terrible at that slide. Let's see if I can get the hockey stop. So I'm finally done doing a few slides with these and getting a feel for it. So what I can say about it is it feels interesting because the sidewalls on the arrow frames, right? The wheels slide fine. They're slide wheels. Most of this was just slides and me getting a feel for the wheels and the boot together, I guess. The boots are pretty stiff, they're pretty tall. You know, we already know this from the other review. So they have forward flex issues. They're broken in, but K2 skates are tall, so they always make you stand more upright. But the wheels slided fine after I used them for a while. They burned down and they rolled fine. The interesting part was the Kaiser Arrow frames have plastic sidewalls. So when you do any slides and you edge too deep, you touch the sidewall of the frame and the grip changes. So that definitely played an interesting factor in the slides, because I would slide and sometimes if I edge too much, it would feel completely different than the wheel because I would suddenly touch a different piece of plastic that's a different hardness. So it kind of messed me up on some of my hockey stops. I wasn't sure. I was scared edging too much. My outside edge on my left foot tends to slide too much. It was a weird thing to get around. So let's take a look at the skate after I used it. So remember before, the wheels wouldn't spin. They spin a little better. They're not really biting in the middle. So they wore down enough to not have that problem. But I don't like the way they wear down. You know, one of the wheels, a piece of it chunked off, and I don't like when wheels chunk. That's usually a sign of cheap wheels. I was doing slides, so maybe that's the reason, but you can see right here, maybe, I don't know if you can see it, a big piece of the wheel chunked off. That's not a good thing. You can hear a squeak in the hub. Like, you can hear the bearings going forward and back. So that means there's give, and the axle and the bearing are moving around, which is bad because you don't get a good spin, the loss of power. It's not on all of them, but one of them is bad enough. Oh, here you can see two. See? Nope. So yeah, just some of them have that issue. You can see the side walls went down a little from the slides. Grinded down, which isn't a bad thing because now they won't get in the way as much. See here too. And like I said before, now we just have to try it in an aggressive environment, some ledges, some coping, and see if I can get some grinds on this and see how much bite I get on these wheels. So that's the next episode.